The Israeli military has announced operational control over the Philadelphia route along the Gaza-Egypt border, discovering dozens of rocket launchers and at least 20 cross-border smuggling tunnels. The IDF spokesperson, Rear Admiral Daniel Hagari, said that the captured strip of land, which runs for a total of 14 kilometers along the Gaza-Egypt border, served as Hamas's oxygen pipeline for smuggling weapons.
So far, our forces have discovered about 20 tunnels in the area of the Philadelphia axis. We are checking these tunnels and neutralizing them while the forces continue the raids.
Meanwhile, a senior Israeli official has said that the war in Gaza may continue at least through the rest of this year. Israel's national security advisor, Tsaki Hanjabi, said in an interview that Israeli forces may have to fight another 7 months to achieve the destruction of Hamas's power and military capabilities. So far, over 36,000 Palestinians have been killed in Israel's Gaza offensive, while the death toll in Israel has been around 1,200. However, US Secretary of State Antony Blinken has urged Israel to come up with a post-war plan for Gaza and warned that the absence of it could trigger lawlessness and chaos and a comeback by Hamas in the Enclave. Speaking at a media conference in Moldova, Blinken said that while Israel has achieved real success in destroying Hamas's capacity to repeat the October 7th-like attack, now the Israeli government will have to assess whether further gains against Hamas would be durable without a post-war plan.
With regard to Rafah, it has to ask whether, and especially in the absence of a plan for the day after, in Gaza, further incremental gains against Hamas, but gains that may not be durable in terms of Hamas's defeat in the absence of a plan.
Furthermore, the United States has dismissed a UN Security Council resolution proposal that urges an immediate end to hostilities in Gaza and Israel's military operation in Rafah. The draft, put forward by Algeria, calls for a comprehensive ceasefire, ensuring humanitarian access to Gaza's population and securing the release of captives. But the US believes the new resolution will not yield tangible results, and it prioritises a temporary truce and the release of hostages. On the other hand, the Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu has accused the International Criminal Court of seeking to handcuff Israel in Gaza. Netanyahu said to former US presidential hopeful Nikki Haley after their meeting in Jerusalem. And Netanyahu was referring to the ICC prosecutor Karim Khan, seeking his arrest warrant over the conflict in Gaza Strip.
There are other people, like the prosecutor in The Hague, that seeks to handcuff us. And handcuffing us is handcuffing you too, because all democratic societies would be imperiled if the right to attack, to take out these terrorists who use civilians as a human shield is not challenged. All democracies are in peril.
Our correspondent Jody Cohen sent us this report on the Israeli National Security Advisor's claim of Israel taking control of 75% of the border between Egypt and Gaza. Take a listen.
Right, so Israel reportedly has operational control of the Philadelphia corridor. Now, that's the corridor between Gaza and Egypt. And the IDF has reportedly taken control of the area where Hamas had surveillance and firepower. And Daniel Hagari, the IDF spokesperson, said that that was Hamas's oxygen pipeline for weapons smuggling. The IDF have found dozens of rocket launchers and tunnels, including 82 tunnel shafts. And they've said that around 70 rockets and mortars have been launched from Rafah towards Israel in recent weeks. Now, some commentators are calling this the most critical achievement in the war so far. Hamas has been cut off from the smuggling tunnels, which means also from smuggling in weapons and fuel. Now, Israel and Egypt are liaising about these developments. The US has indicated that the operation is in line with what it's willing to support. And some are saying that this is not the end of the war, but is the beginning of the end for Hamas. So National Security Advisor Enclave has given his military assessment, saying that he believes the war will go on until the end of 2024 at the earliest. War Cabinet observer Gadi Eisenkot said that Netanyahu, he believes, has failed on security and has called for elections in the last quarter of 2024. Now, a new poll has showed that Netanyahu is the preferred candidate in Israel for Prime Minister over Benny Gantz, and this is the first time that the polls have shown that in over a year, although Gantz's party would still come out on top. Now, IDF Chief Herzi Halevi has said that dismantling Hamas's battalions in Rafah, which is the last Hamas brigade with full capabilities, he said, is the top priority now. Meanwhile, the Biden administration has called the draft UN Security Council resolution, which is calling to stop the fighting in Rafah. They've called that imbalanced, saying that it didn't note that the fighting could stop tomorrow if Hamas head Yahya Sinwar agreed to a deal. And the US confirms that Israel has agreed to a new proposal, and mediators are waiting now for Hamas's response.